bado na wale Suprema siko kwa damu kauna nishuko na unataka kunijaribu sana nipe daka tano nipe daka tano nipe daka tano
now zip cheki nimefunga zip weniambie sinani anakujagana nani kwa nani nasikiaga nampiaga nini kwa nini leo wewe umetunga kamini bila nini usiulize nini usiulize minini I'm a gentleman yes I am
nipate baby kwenye bar uliza shore what you drinking you know you're rolling with a gentleman na uliza utapewa nini nipate baby kwenye bar uliza shore what you drinking shore you know you're rolling with a gentleman na uliza utapewa nini
yo ladies and gentlemen introducing Flash of the gentleman madam wananipenda oh yeah I'm a ladies man always niko kazi so yeah I'm a businessman wananitaka Flash yeah the superman juu watoto niko nao niwe superman nikiwa kwenye bar venye miuka venye miuva ay swaga balan baby unakunywa nini pe unachotaka kwani iko nini pose si atina kukatia bani kukupata siwezi mind pia baby unakunywa nini pe unachotaka kwani iko nini pose si atina kukatia bani kukupata siwezi mind pia
mama nipate baby kwenye bar uliza shore what you drinking mama you know you're rolling with a gentleman na uliza utapewa nini nipate baby kwenye bar uliza shore what you drinking mama you know you're rolling with a gentleman na uliza utapewa nini
in your lifetime girl hii ni chance yes only chance ya kuroll na a gentleman come close mami tupate dance yes baby doll mini wako all night I keep my swag right all white na leo nina date na Snow White rare kind born eye ladies go mental smiles all dental we getting sentimental katempo kako gentle mini yule tangu shule pata notice sasa baby come tule mini yule tangu shule pata notice sasa baby come tule
nipate baby kwenye bar uliza shore what you drinking you know you're rolling with a gentleman na uliza utapewa nini nipate baby kwenye bar uliza shore what you drinking you know you're rolling with a gentleman na uliza utapewa nini I got you baby cause I got you shore what you drinking I got you I got you I got you utapewa nini I got you cause I got you shore what you drinking you know you're rolling with a gentleman I got you baby I got you utapewa nini
Ignite your sports passion with 22 Bet.
Mazen lipatana na Udem akanishwa kuna mamsi wakali so nikampeleka Decimal akapatana na Punet alafu msio kaka nipea track twende kazi Rasha mimkali nianza gamziki tuna na kitari akajikanisha basi tuna dakitari tunajua pressure na kuwaga dakitari mtaani mini ordinary simo getikari boss mimnare ndo maana tudem tunashindaga kelele wanataka mpango kando ati ni wadare boss hey ni shamare niko mdogo tu kwenye gari si usare nikisonga mbele wako pale 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 pale, si tuko kwenye club tuna pale 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 lezo, yani pale pale tunarusha mizuka pale pale. Sijapata mkali 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 maishani mwangu, sitamwona mkali 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 maishani mwangu.
Temedari mkare, mistari generare kare, generali tangu kale kare, kikundi serikali yani sirikali tangu kale kare, haijarishi kare gani kare, kazi zote kare kare kare, na katika ile hali kare, kashenkari ina hari kare, kari forward kari Francis hari, safari za mbalimbali kare, biashara mbalimbali kare, hatuchoki na hii safari kare, sauti za kinyumbani kare, wekelea kwa taki kare kare, ya dakitari na ni kare.
Maishani mwangu sijapata mkali 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 maishani mwangu, sitamwona mkali 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 maishani mwangu. Ganya mimi nina sware, madada kibao wote shware, wanamuka mbele yangu na nisare, wanataka reta noma na kucheza ngware. Kwangu kuja inje kuna umbwa kare, nyumba ndani huko pata bibi kare mkare 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 na si mkare kare, nimeng'ara kari kari kani toka kare, nimechapa toto ware ware bado kare. Kama umeshindwa basi leta ture na uongeze ture ndo mi nikure, kucha turerembe ture tukorembe, nyewe kwa wamanyi wanataka rembe, wanakana katika kama wembe, otu wabe cheki bukanya kishambe. Sijapata mkali 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 maishani mwangu, sitamwona mkali 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 maishani mwangu. Maishani mwangu sijapata mkali 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 maishani mwangu, sitamwona mkali 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 maishani mwangu.
Yeah. That was P Unit, the legends themselves, dropping us off with Kari over there. Welcome to our segment today. My name is Shihembets, and I'll be taking you through philosophy and quack. That's fuck you for people who don't know. Well, we'll be talking about anything and everything. So for today, let's start with the message of condolences to my people from Man United players and Man United fans. I know it's a rough time. I understand things are not going the way you wanted to. Arsenal came there to play football, but you guys came there to do some lawn mowing. Inakaa bwana Dalot and the rest of you guys, bana mambo namna gani bana? What was going on? I see Jesus took someone to the shops, but it is okay. 3-1 is not a bad result, but let's just be honest, that was a shit show. It was a shit show. But for my Arsenal fans, oh yeah, how you doing? And it's a blessed Monday, and it's my first episode of the show. I don't know what I'll be talking about today because I was a bit off guard. It's one of those Monday blues is really kicking me in the ass. I'm not really sure what to talk about, but I had something planned for you guys. I was having a conversation the other day with my cousin. We were talking about the state of the industry in the market, and something came up. I was like, why is it that some artists are not growing as much as they need to? Why is it that the industry is not going as far as it needs to? And the thing that we came up, my cousin said something. I was referring to someone that I know, someone interesting, one of the biggest artists in the country. And when we were talking, I was very upset. And he was like, this guy came into the game because he wanted to survive. He did not come to the game because for the love of the passion. And that really got me thinking, can you actually do art without money? Can you do art without money? That's a very big question. Like, I feel like everybody, no one ever looks at it from that standpoint, because most people are going into the arts to survive. So that's why you find a lot of hits today, they sound the same. Everybody is doing the same thing because almost everybody is trying to get out of the block. So kila mtu hapa anajikaza anajaribu kutafuta do. So unapata once someone finds a formula, they stick to it, and this is what's hurting the industry. I feel like not many people talk about this. Personally, I am a musician, and before I understood this fact, I was one of those people who was like, you have to do it for the love, for the passion, and for everything. But trust me, it's not that simple. And I wonder why. I wish art was just one of those things where you just woke up and then you just did it and then you had fun, you know. But it's never that simple. It's like you have to go through these loops and hurdles and all these things. And then later on you find out, hey, bana, without money you cannot survive. Because as an artist, one thing, kama una njaa bana, unaenda hapo kuchora unapata we. Nothing works out. But I don't know, maybe you guys have other stories. I'm not sure how many people are tuning in, but I thank you guys for whoever is on the stream. Thank you for joining me. Let me know what you'd like me to talk about, because I'll be talking. I know my friends are probably here, some of them are here. Let me know what you'd like to talk about, so that way we can be able to have a conversation on the other end. And then another conversation I need to talk about is what did I want to talk about? My mind is all over the place. Today I'm just going to be rambling and everything. But tomorrow, don't worry, this week I have several guests lined up for you. Number one, tomorrow we'll have Manu Is Me, who is an amazing musician. I'll probably put his music on the playlist so you guys can have a feel of the guy. Secondly, I'll also have my good friend. His name is Maluma. We host a podcast together. It's called Banter with the Boys, BWTB254, where you can catch us, where we talk and exchange a few words here and there. If you do not find it on stream, we're working on getting it everywhere. And lastly, I will have the one, the only Maina Munene, who's an eccentric entertainer. This guy has been killing it. If you have been on Twitter or on the streets and you've met a series called The Government Spokesman, this is the guy. So I'm bringing you the government spokesman here to talk to you guys. And then finally, I'll be closing it off with a solo session. So that's that's the week. I know, najua mjapanga vitu mingi. So mungoje tu, I will try. Today will be a bit weird, but from tomorrow ni 2020. So another thing I want to talk about. So let's talk about the arts now. Back to the arts. Now, I'm an artist. Let me talk about myself for a minute. I'm an artist, yeah. What do I do? I'm a musician. I can draw, I can rap, I'm a stand-up comedian. You can find me on Punchline Comedy Club or Stand-Up Collective on their shows. And being multifaceted is kind of fun, and you get to have very many conversations. But the one conversation I feel like every musician needs to know is going to school really helps, bana. Najua, see, each generation yet do not like going to school, but bana, wait. I remember the first time before I started doing music, like going to Kenya Conservative of Music, I used to be one of those guys who's like, mimi siwezi enda shule, all you need is a school of YouTube. Then the first week I went there for voice lessons. Ushaijaribu kuimba, unajua yenyewe kuimba yako ni kwa bafu tu. Like that was my experience. And then, I remember it was so frustrating because I was just taking lessons from everybody else, and everybody, you can sing. And then now I found a singing coach. I'm telling you, it is horrendous. It was a horrendous experience. For like 3 weeks, we played one note. All he had to do is one note. And then my teacher was like, hey, you're not listening. And this guy played one key the whole time, and it's a piano, so I'm trying to get the note. It's a 1 hour class. I am frustrated. I want to cry. I'm like, hey, Banami, I just want to go back to YouTube and then do that thing. But the experience taught me a lot, because saa zingine ujuangi ujui, unajua. So I feel like every artist is at some point you really need to go to school. You need to go to find a vocation, and it doesn't have to be the school of the craft that you're doing, but I'd recommend you do it with something that's related in the field. If you're a musician, if you can be able to go to learn music business, that will help you. If you're a painter, if you find an apprenticeship or your tutelage, that will help. If you are a stand-up comedian, if you go for open mics and then you attend the workshop and whatever, that will help. Hii mambo ya kusema YouTube is the school of everything. I know YouTube is very accessible, but the thing that we never understand is the fact that as much as there's so much YouTube can show you, at some point what happens is you plateau. And it's inevitable, you plateau, because ujui makosa zenye unafanya. So you are learning from mistakes. And sometimes what happens is when you learn through YouTube, someone doesn't correct a mistake early. For instance, I used to sing off key and I did not understand that. So I used to go and then perform. There's this thing called Took Open Mic. Yeah. And then Took Open Mic, we'd go, it's an open mic, so you can sing and you can do whatever. So my friends will tell me I can sing. So I go there singing, and then there's an instrument accompanied. There's a friend of mine, his name is Austin. He'll be like, uko off key. I'm like, mi mtu anasema nini? Mimi naimba vizuri. So when I went to school is when I finally understood that there's something there that you need to do. For some people, they can just pick it up. But for me, I needed that extra source where my Twitter was like, this is where you're going wrong. This is what you're doing wrong. Because most people, when you learn from YouTube and from these other places where there's no one-on-one interaction, what happens is you build your own model in your head. So kwa kichwa yako unaweza kuwa unaimba F sharp, kumbe ni unaimba B flat, you know. That's music theory for you guys. So that's one of those things. I feel like school is underrated in this generation. We need to appreciate school more. We need to appreciate the fact that as an artist, you need to go out there and understand. Another reason that school is important is the fact that you get to hang out with other artists. This is very crucial. An artist is not an island. And that's difficult to think about, man, because I used to say that I will do everything by myself. I remember I had a conversation with one of my producers and he was like, I used to tell him, mi nataka nikuwe mixing and mastering engineer, nifanye production, nifanye kila kitu. And like, hey bro, utajiua. At the time, I didn't understand it. But when I finally got it, fam, because there's a lot of work that goes into this. So you need all these people and the lessons you learn from other people. Interacting with other artists, you realize there's a lot of mistakes that you do, either in the business, either in the craft, either in the way you perform, either in something. I remember one of my best experiences is we used to have this open mic at The Alchemist by Sadia. It was an amazing experience. So when I was going to perform over there, what will happen is there's a time like the sound had an issue. So me nimesimama stage. Leroy bana ameniingilia hapo bana, "Hey, ongea na audience." So I was like, I didn't know that. And I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't interacted with Leroy before, if I hadn't sat down and had a conversation with him about the crafts. So me niko tu stage nimesimama nimezuba. So that's when actually I started doing stand-up comedy because I decided to do a joke over there and people liked it. And it went from there. So before I continue rambling, I feel like I should play you a good song. You know, there's a friend of mine, his name is Kamushes. He is really good. He's an unspranua bana. This guy does the uns in a way that you can never understand. I feel like he's one of those guys you listen to their music and you're like, wait. So I'm going to present you guys Unfiltered Dreams by Kamushes as I gather my thoughts kidogo as we continue this discussion about the arts and how to grow in them. Haya. Acha tuone kama ndo hiyo. Yeah.
got a load of money.
I let her hold the hundreds. She wanna ride the bros. Come get your hoe, she wildin'. Niggas, they shoot and tell. Tryna expose the violence. She let me hit it for free. You are the whole designers. Ay, I got a load of cash. Why is you stuck in the past? She wanna ride the cash. I pull a digital dash. Ay, I want my whole exotic. My pockets on Christopher Wallace. You a pussy I cannot acknowledge. Yeah, pull me up, fool. I'm drippin'. Yeah, whoa, hey, yeah. She got a little, yeah. Yeah, hey. I got a little on top of my desk. Yeah. I got a load of money. I let her hold the hundreds. She wanna ride the bros. Come get your hoe, she wildin'. Niggas, they shoot and tell. Tryna expose the violence. She let me hit it for free. You are the whole designers. Ay, I got a load of cash. Why is you stuck in the past? She wanna ride the cash. I pull a digital dash. Ay, I want my whole exotic. My pockets on Christopher Wallace. You a pussy I cannot acknowledge. I'm speeding, don't care about the mileage. Yeah, I hit a lick with my niggas too. I never been on an interview. I put that hoe in the physical. My niggas, they ready to deal with you. I been in the trap where the hitters move. I'm about to go up like a pedestal. You broke, need a brick like an interlude. I load up the Glock and I kill a few. I got a load of cash. Why is you stuck in the past? Ay, she wanna ride the cash. Yeah, I pull a digital dash. I want my whole exotic. Hey, my pockets on Christopher Wallace. You a pussy I cannot acknowledge. I'm speeding, don't care about the mileage. I can't afford to have problems to deal with the drama. I keep me a piece in the drama. Niggas be talking that tough shit, but they do not want it. I send you to Jesus the Father, then I go deal with the karma. I line you up like a barber. Fuck is Hakuna Matata. Ready to ride with my brother. Cooper Masai with my brother. I'm from the east, but I keep me a burner. Boy, free my niggas out the slammer. I want a crib at the top of the manor. I told my niggas the fame it don't matter. Pray for a plate and I got me a platter. Straight to the top and I ain't use a ladder. Get to the top and them haters will find you. I got a clip, I can put it aside. Been in the game, I don't play the bench. New cards, my favorite stench. Remember the bitches that came and went. Wanna hit me, tryna make amends. I am the rapper they recommend. I get the cash, yeah, I rake it in. Clumsy nigga might just break the bank. She gave me head and it made me think. I'm tryna bone, I'm a dog, so when she call me that, I don't take offense. I spend a check on my neck. Now when I pull up to the club, I'm the main event. That's why these niggas are dissing me. Cause most of they misses are missing me. Y'all never broke up officially, but she still dish it out like a kitchen sink. I bought a drink, sign my soul, the dirtiest color purple. I sip the link, feel like a stone, I'm moving like I'm a turtle. But I keep my eyes where the prize be. I keep my Nikes with concrete. 10 toes when I'm stepping out. Ain't no other nigga like me. I got a load of money. I let her hold the hundreds. She wanna ride the bros. Come get your hoe, she wildin'. Niggas, they shoot and tell. Tryna expose the violence. She let me hit it for free. You are the whole designers. I got a load of cash. Why is you stuck in the past? She wanna ride the cash. I pull a digital dash. I want my whole exotic. My pockets on Christopher Wallace. You a pussy I cannot acknowledge. I'm speeding, don't care about the mileage. Ay. I let her load of money. I let her hold the money. And she wanna ride the road. Come get your hoe, cause she wide. Niggas ain't shooting tell. Tryna expose the violence. And she let me hit it for free. And you are the whole design, yeah. I got a load of cash. Why is you stuck in the past? She wanna ride the cash. I pull up digital dash. I want my whole exotic. My pockets on Christopher Wallace. You a pussy, I can't acknowledge. I'm speeding, don't care about the mileage. Whoa, hey, she got a little.
Yeah. Closing us off was TNT Kenya with Christopher Wallace. That's one of my favorite songs from this duo, man. I apologize. I was trying to set up the queue and then I messed up Unfiltered Dreams by Kamushes. But don't worry. I got you guys. I'll probably do it again. I'll start the song again from somewhere. But I have a hot playlist set up for you guys. So let's talk about the topic of the day. Today, I was going to talk about something very specific to me because it's something that I feel like everybody needs to understand. People have been complaining a lot about the music industry sounding the same. Why does every single song sound the same? Why is it that every song you listen to sounds the same? Why is it that every song that comes out today is the same? Like, there are very many factors that goes to it. The first factor that I want to talk about is the fact that there's a lot of saturation, and we have never been exposed to music as much as this. That's why we are able to see a lot of copycats. And with saturation, there's imitation. With imitation, there's a lot of copycats. With a lot of copycats, there's a lot of similarities. So with that said, you find that there's no breaks. Back in the day, there were like 10 artists from a community, 10, 20, maybe even 100 artists from a community. But you had to be so unique so people can pay for you. the only way to see artists was two ways. It's either you had to go to an event or listen to them on the radio. Otherwise, you're never gonna see the artist. These days, you can go to IG, you see the artist. You can find the music on TikTok. You can find the music on Spotify. You can find the music anywhere, anytime. And what that means is there's a lot of competition, and a lot of people are learning from each other. And most of these people are here. As I said, people want to get out of the block, so most of these people are working to earn some bread. So what happens is whatever hit is what people will go for. That's the first hurdle that's going on. That's why you find that almost everybody is sounding the same, because if this works and it ain't broke, don't fix it. So many people try to emulate what worked and try to find a way to ensure that that is what works for them, and they also come out of the block the same way. The other reason that you find that a lot of these people are having a problem, is a lot of music is sounding the same. Is nostalgia factor, but now when you listen to the music back in the day, man, if you grew up with the music, it will always sound unique. It will always have that extra sauce. It will always have that feeling of like, now this is music. And let's be honest, most of us millennials, we are in that generation when our parents were when they were raising us. Now this is when you're nostalgic. But for us, our rumba is Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, and the likes. And strangely, Nicki Minaj and Lil Wayne are still releasing music. But at the same time, when you listen to them, you're like, now this is rap. This is rap, yeah. And the most you can go is maybe someone say something like Biggie or Lucky Dube or just something of the sort. But so there's that nostalgia factor. When there's nostalgia, you cannot fight nostalgia. You cannot fight with nostalgia. Nostalgia will always win. Whether you want to or not, nostalgia will always win. So when you listen to the music, you're listening to it with biased ears. There's no way you're going to come to this generation's music and you're like, now this is the good shit. No. And that's why as a music reviewer, it's a bit hard sometimes. I usually take some time before I listen to songs, because there's a lot of noise on the internet. So by the time unasikiza ngoma bana, kila mtu amesema ngoma ni kali, so you have very high expectations. By the time you're listening to it, you're like, this is shit, man. But it's not that it's shit. It's just that people have not really, you have just been, your views have been altered and they have been biased and they have been ruined or polluted in a way. The other reason that you find that most music is very, very, very similar is the fact that copycats, as I've said, copycats. In this generation, everyone wants to be famous, and as much as imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, many people want to be the next so and so. Many people want to be the next Justin Bieber. Many people want to be the next Will.i.am. Many people want to be the next Calligraph or whoever, and that brings a problem. I remember there's an artist who had a conversation where he was saying, "We don't want the next X so and so. We want the next you," and that is a very difficult thought process to push, because very few people see niche artists develop. We have very many niche artists who are amazing, but they rarely get to be seen at the top, So, and the problem is we have equated fame to competence. We have substituted fame with competence, and we tend to think that because someone is famous, they are good. So we want to be like them, and that is another problem. And then later on, you find that this person is a hack. So the fact that many people want to emulate the big people, that's something we can never fight with. It's one of those situations where you look at it and you're like, hey man, this is hapo utafanyaje, unajua. Even me as a musician, I used to have that problem. I'm a big fan of Childish Gambino, and if you listen to most of my songs, most of them tend to have influences from Childish Gambino, and at some point I was writing like this guy. Like everything I was doing, I was just doing the same way as this guy. And then when I was growing up, when I was in high school, I used to write a lot of raps like Lil Wayne. For me, it was just about puns and bars and bars and bars. And then later on, and then my friend will ask me like, wait, but it's not just about rhyme schemes. So you have to, there's that where you want to be like your style, and then you forget there's that unique entity. But it's something that everybody struggles with. Everybody wants to be the next big thing, and it's something that takes time. So for every artist out there, so I want to say that if you're a fan and you feel like all the music sounds the same, but just take your time and just sift through the noise, and eventually you'll find someone that works for you. That's how I've been working, and that's how I've been applying. If you want to listen to an album, wait for the hype to die down. That way utakuwa polluted, because someone might be saying some shit and you're like, album. Like I remember there's an album we were having, the last 21 Pilots album really nishinda bana, but everyone was hyping it up like it's amazing. I'm a big fan of 21 Pilots, but that album really nisumbua bana. I was like, hey Z, and then and it also, that's another reason why it took me a while before I started listening to Zinnia Manase. Zinnia is an amazing musician, but there's that when she released her EP, there was so much noise on the TL, but I was like, Z, no one is this good. Then I listened to her and I was like, yeah, she is good, she's really good. So there's that. I'd advise you just to avoid the hype. Yeah. Another reason I think we have a problem with saturation is our recording processes. People don't record like they used to, bana. It's not the same thing. Back in the day, everything was organic. And if you look at the studio processes, like Queen, when Queen went to record it, if it's not Bohemian Rhapsody, it's that we will rock. That song, if it's that one, what used to happen is you would be organic. If there was a band, there'll be a drummer there, there'll be a guitarist over there, there'll be a sound engineer. Like everybody was in the studio, and it was such an organic process. So instead of, and if you needed a choir, you'd actually get a choir, or you do multiple takes. These days everything is digital processing. You go into the studio, you're a one-man machine. Unaingia hapo, unachapa verse zako, unataka choir, unaingia hapo, unaimba verse 1, verse 2, verse 3, unafanya verse kama mara 20. Then you just pitch up and pitch down until that point where they pitch up and pitch down until that point where you get the choir effect that they want, and that usually ruins the it's called timbre and texture of the song. So you find when you listen to the older songs, things sound a bit different. There's some sort of soul, there's some sort of life in the song. It's not because it's unique or it's because it's rare. No, it's because the recording process is different. And yeah, if you have a really good mixing engineer, you can change that and you can do some things here and there to make it sound a bit more organic and everything. I understand that for producers listening in. But at the end of the day, nothing beats the organic process. That's why for me, I prefer working with an organic team. As much as it's expensive sometimes, if money was not an issue, mimi ningekuwa nafanya tu live stuff. Like you just get a drummer and you get to do the thing. I really like organic drums because there's that kick. Like if you listen to trap music, there was a period when Future was coming up before he became Future, before that is Sprite 2. Like all the trap elements were very similar. You listen to them, all of them are very similar. The same hi-hat, the same snare. Like the sample pack ilikuwa ile moja. But now you find Metro Boomin, even when you're starting out, he used to sound like 88 Mafia. But then he changed when he realized like we cannot all be the same. So what happened is Metro Boomin started changing the way. I think he's the first trap producer who actually really incorporated synths and all these melodic instruments and sampling to a level that most people don't get to experience. And that's what changed him. And that's why up to today he's still relevant. All the other people who were trap producers back then, they're not as big right now because they kept doing the same shit. But now if you listen to Metro, you see that there's some element of musicality. So the organic nature of songs, the recording process is not the same. It's not the same, and this is really killing it, because if everybody does the same thing, you never find anything unique. And that's why I like listening to indie music. When you listen to indie music, most of these people are just guys with guitars in the basement having fun, and that's what makes the song nice. And sometimes I listen to songs not because of, there's a time I stopped listening to songs too critically. I just listened for the vibe. And you start listening to songs like that, you get to realize like, oh, by the way, hapa kuna kitu bana. Like sometimes unapata, like the things that you like about that song is not even the lyrics. It's just the way the song makes you feel. And what makes that happen is the way it's been recorded. And I was watching the tutorial about recording, and some guy was saying, do not record in a vocal booth, especially if you're doing vocals, singing vocals. Why? Because what will happen is they will sound a bit too robot. Like they'll sound too clean. There's some level of human nature. Human nature is known by is identified by mistakes. If you look at a piece of art and you don't feel any connection, it's because it's technically good, but it is not the best. Anyway, sasa before niendelee na hizo conversations zangu za ajabu, I feel like I should do Kamush's song justice and at least give you Unfiltered Dreams properly this time. I will try my best not to do anything while the song is playing. So anyway, guys, enjoy Unfiltered Dreams by the one and only Kamush's. My name is Shi Mbetsa, and this is Philosophy and Quark. Yeah. Yeah. Welcome back to Philosophy and Quack with me, Shiem Betsa, man. Like, that was Unfiltered Dreams by Kamushes. Let's just appreciate this guy, man. This guy is doing the thing. I am not really a big fan of trance and house, like Afro house, but he is converting me slowly by slowly. The work this guy is putting in is a close friend of mine, and I just want to say that I'm proud of him and I'm proud of the music. If you listen to this song always makes me happy. It's the first Afro house song I listened to, and I was like, yeah, I need some. This is something that I can work with. This is something that I can enjoy. This is something that I can recommend to other people. So go run up the numbers, Bana. Go run up the numbers. At the moment, it's at 51 views on YouTube. I feel like you can do more than that if you're listening in, Bana. Go listen to the song. And I feel like the Kenyan music industry is in good hands because Jana Bwana Kinoti and Ethan Muziki did the thing, Bana. Those guys, congratulations to those guys for selling out, for having a show so packed, it's closed out. Like, jamaa walipatiana free show pale Sahil Center, ilibidi show ifungwe kwa sababu watu wamejaa. And if you look at the photos from that event, I have never felt so much FOMO in my life. I reviewed Kinoti's EP on FNNR recently, but I want to say, like, that guy, those two guys are wizards, man. bana. Even people are hosting free shows at their level, but no one has ever pulled off a stunt. Like nobody in the Kenyan industry has pulled off such a stunt. Like these guys, the show was so late, like it was affecting the businesses at the rooftop. And huko chini mko basement, nyinyi mko tu sherehe lakini huko juu, like make so much noise, the guys at the top notice that what's happening. Like this is taking it to another level. I feel like we should really appreciate it. If somebody is saying Kenyan music is there, like tell them about Ethan Muziki and Kinoti. And I want to promise you guys that these guys, whatever they're doing is amazing. If you're into indie, I don't know how to describe their sound, because Kinoti is a bit more soulful. Ethan Muziki is a bit all over the place in a way, but he knows what he's doing. So, and those are not the only artists you should be paying attention to. And many people have been complaining that Kenyan music is the same thing. No. It just means you're not looking hard enough. And finally, these days you don't even need to look hard enough. Just go to Spotify and look for Kenyan music. You will find all the songs that you need to listen to there. There are artists over there that you will probably never hear of. And there are guys who are just doing music for the love of it. And in another sad state of affairs, Julian Drizzle recently announced that he's retiring from the craft. But I am sad. Ndo alikuwa ameanza bana. He recently released his album, it's called Tumefika bana. Alifika na akashuka gari bana. That's no. Hey Julian bana. Julian unatufanya aje manze. In fact, I think I will have to talk to you so that you can come and listen to my rant on the show bana. Wewe umeniumiza roho bana. We are supposed to do something together, but it's a bit sad. You're saying that the antagonism in the industry was too much for him to handle and he had to step away for a minute. And I was a bit disappointed because he was making moves, but I've never seen a guy make moves like this guy. He was pale HBR bana, alikuwa na tesa manze, like he came out of nowhere. He was doing the thing, and his song, the good thing about his songs is there's something I said, like his music is not meant to fight the system. His music is meant to survive the system, and losing a guy like that in the industry is one of those things that makes me feel sad. Yeah, we're no longer gonna see any funny freestyles and all that stuff from him, but hey, all in all, I hope this is just a temporary setback and somebody sits him down and is like, hey bro, kuja tufanye kitu jana. I hope he finds the passion and the love for the craft, but that's what it is, you know. Music is a marathon, not a sprint. It's not easy, and people think that as a musician you just wake up and then you make music. I feel like Kenyans really take music for granted. We don't really appreciate the work that goes into making music. Music is a lot of work, guys, and the more we support our artists, stream the numbers bana. Go out there, stream them. If your friend is a musician, even if you don't like the music, share that shit. His fan is somewhere out there. You might not be the fan, but there's a fan out there on your TL who's waiting to listen to his weird songs, you know. So share the music, share the craft. Go like their shit, go talk about their stuff. That's how you get the ball rolling. And that's how Gengeton became something amazing. Even though many people will argue that we killed the goose, we killed the chick before it laid the hen. Wait, does that even make sense? But when you get the point. But I'm saying, like, Gengeton was on the way, and I used to tell people, like, Gengeton has a thing, you know, and many people didn't notice this, but we need to do more as Kenyan fans. We need to support more Kenyan artists. We need to go out there. We need to ride for the craft. You know, Sauti Sol is doing an event. They're also retiring, in quotes. I have a feeling this is just temporary. I hope it's temporary because man, they are the guys who have been the benchmark for many people. They are the guys people have been looking up to. They are the most out there artists who we can say they are the superstars of the Kenyan industry. They are the only people we can qualify as superstars in the industry, and it's a bit sad seeing them step back. But then again, they have left the game into like capable hands. Nviri and Bensoul have been doing a lot of stuff recently. Bana Bensoul and Nviri released his album, and I am yet to listen to it because bado kuna kelele mingi, but I'll try and give it a listen and I'll let you know. Yeah, but on the other hand, good news. Just a band only Rudy bana. I attended their premiere show. If you have not listened to the album, it's called Echo Dawn bana. These guys are back, and they're back for business. They're back and they mean business. This is good news for the Kenyan music industry, because for the longest time it was either you're a Sauti Sol fan or a Just a Band fan. If you're back in the day, if you listen to music, it was either it was one or the other. It was rare to find someone who supported both, because Just a Band was for the cool kids, Sauti Sol was for everybody else. And the fact that Just a Band is back, we know now the Kenyan scene is going to change, because they experimented a lot. I think they're the first Kenyan artist to actually be featured on CNN because of the song. The song was called Makmende Amerudi, and I'll never forget that thing. It took a wax mzee. I think I should play that song before I leave. Yeah, and that's good news, because these guys are pioneers of their own right. They were the first people to show Kenyans and Kenyan artists that you don't really need the industry to make it. They were, even Sauti Sol, they did the same thing, but they were the first people who went international with no push. Back now, artists like radio stations started calling them and being like, hey, Niaje, see that song that you said that you could have, so you send it to us. And that just goes to show, like, Kenyan artists, msikufe roho bana. Julian Drizzle, Rudy bana. Rudy, do not die. Do not give up, because because we need guys like you in this industry. We need more artists pushing the envelope, because on Audiomack, Julian is a beast. And just a band right now coming back, I mean, like, I'm waiting for the album. I know Echo Dawn was just the beginning, was a precursor, but I also know Blink is also working on an album, so stay tuned for that. I hope I'll have news for you guys in the week. It's We Cut Keys while you wait the second edition. I hope Blinky comes back, because that is a guy that I listen to, man. Blinky knows his stuff. He's one of those artists you listen to and you're like, what the hell am I listening to? And you understand, like, this he has a niche. And I listen to his album, Everyone Swinging It, Another Flight Years. It's really good on a mix. When you put that thing on shuffle, banner, it's just a vibe. And that just goes to show, I've already named several artists that you can listen to. Do not say that Kenyan music is dead, banner. Kuna watu wengi hapa, Kamushe zako hapa, there's someone called Munyasia. There are very many artists out there. So what else can we do as Kenyan fans to help the industry? Another thing aside from streaming and playing their music, there's this thing called Hustle Sasa and Bandcamp. If you have the means and if you really want to support an artist, these are the two platforms where you can really go a long way in supporting them. Yeah, just don't go to their shows and stream their numbers. As much as streaming is really good, the pay from streaming is not as good as directly buying physical copies. Many fans don't know this. As an artist, there's a lot of work. There's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes. Behind the scenes, there's work like A&R. There's the publishing. There's the recording. There's mixing and mastering. There's all this for the artist to grow and bring you quality. Even wardrobe, bana. Wanataka artist apigaje look na pesa kwa mfuko. So how do you put money in the artist's pocket? It's very simple. Find like platforms like Bandcamp and platforms like Hustle Sasa. Bandcamp has this thing where intermittently they will allow the artist to take 100% of whatever they're making, of whatever sales they make that week. And I feel like this is something that many people should take advantage of. If you're a fan of any artist in the country, go to Bandcamp. When nunua hizo vitu, enda Hustle Sasa, nunua directly from the artist. If they have much, buy directly from the artist. By the time check ya streaming inakuja, is just a supplementary income. By the time check ya YouTube inakuja, is just supplementary income. Make sure that you find other ways. If they have a website, click on that website, go there, buy their merch, do the thing, interact with them, push their stuff, share their stuff on their socials, and do not only share their songs on Spotify and Apple. No, kama wako na Bandcamp link, kama wako na kitu, weka kwa stories, sumbua watu wako, even if you're not a fan. This is my rule. If you're not a fan of a craft, there's somebody else out there who's more of a fan than you. Maybe your friend's fan is on your page. No, nalala. Una mnyima mafans kumi hapo juu pendium. Apana, no. If you do not like your friend's songs, that's okay. You're not allowed. It's not a must you like my songs. But I feel like there's someone on your page that liked the songs. Yeah. So anyway, before I continue with my track, let me give you another song before now we enter into Kipindi cha Lala Salama and I give you something small. This is a song by Manu Is Me. It's called The Bug. I'll be having Manu on the studio tomorrow. I'll confirm. I hope at a snake, but it's called The Bug by Manu featuring Capture. It's one of those songs that I listen to when I just need to get my grind on and I need to do some bad stuff. Anyway, Manu Is Me, The Bug.
Just hit me up if you really got that bag, yeah. Just hit me up if you really got that bag, yeah. Just hit me up if you really got that bag. Nigga, hit me up if you really got that bag, yeah.
I've been putting work just to get the pay. I need millions, I ain't going back. I've been putting work just to get the bag. I need millions, I ain't going back. Get in the break, 30 in my head, yeah. Feeling the pain, I need the weight, yeah. Can't be a lame, gotta get paid, I need me range, maybe a bench, yeah. Put me in your plans if you gon' break bank. I need me millions of cash, put in the work for the bands, putting my niggas on deck. Pass me deal like you're the dang. I need money, not your life, no social distance for the cash.
Yeah, just hit me up if you really got that bag, yeah. Just hit me up if you really got that bag, yeah. Just hit me up if you really got that bag. Nigga, hit me up if you really got that bag, yeah.
I've been putting work just to get the bag. I need millions, I ain't going back. I've been putting work just to get the bag. I need millions, I ain't going back.
Moya veni unachapa mboka, nikingoja kuomoka. Barazi wazidi kuchocha, na saka staki kusota. Tukidishi kwa masosa, young Simba I'm here to conquer. Drip game in a bonga, nakula na chonda nona. I've been putting in the work, I've been playing in the game. They say I'm different, she say I'm the same. I've been going so hard, now they're noticing my name. I've been shooting in the stars, lazima nibaike chain. Just hit me up if you really got that bag, yeah. Just hit me up if you really got that bag, yeah. Just hit me up if you really got that back. Nigga, hit me up if you really got that back, yeah.
I've been putting work just to get the back. I need millions, I ain't going back. I've been putting work just to get the back. I need millions, I ain't going back.
Just hit me up if you really got that back.
I need millions, I ain't going back.
Just hit me up if you really got that back.
I need millions, I ain't going back.
Yeah. That was The Bug by Manu Is Me featuring Capture. He'll catch him tomorrow in studio. He'll be in studio with me, and we'll be chopping it up about the music industry and everything that he's seen in the industry. And he has he's one of the most knowledgeable people I know. He has taught me a lot about publishing and all these things when it comes to music industry. And I just want to say that, guys, thank you all for tuning in. Manze, my name is Shiembetsa. You've been listening to Philosophy and Quack. From tomorrow, I'll have a better thought process. Leo nimekuwa tu nikirukaruka kila mahali, but msijali ni day one. I wanted to get a feel of the studio and see how things are working. But from tomorrow, I will have you guys here and we will be having fun and more wild conversations. Another thing I want to say is let's just take Manu bana, hii ngoma, huyu jamaa hajaweka the remix and remastered version. Hii ni ile ya kitambo bana. Manu, hebu enda YouTube bana, you do the thing, update the thing, because I know the new version is cleaner, it has better. Hii imejaa tu bass up. Maybe he forgot, but he's a good friend of mine and I know he's probably going to ataniflame leo akisikia nimeongea vibaya ngoma yake, but it is okay. It's a good song. The Bug is one of those songs that I listen to when I want to just jump in. And obviously, and don't worry, I got more songs for you guys before I leave. I have Mau from Nowhere with Dogtail and Julian Drizzle Cash, because obviously, considering that the man has said he's retired from the game or he's taking a break from the game, I have to at least pour some libation. So now, this is one of those moments where I have to do something. At least we appreciate Mr. Drizzle. Drizzle has been in the industry for around 5 years, I think. And I remember in high school we used to rap together and it was fun. And it's sad seeing him go. And other ways you can support. Yeah, I was talking about supporting the Kenyan artists. Another thing, you can go pay for shows, bana. Imamba kuitisha complimentary tickets to watch. My fans una tabia mbaya sana, especially friends of artists. Everybody wants complimentary tickets. Everybody wants Asa kama watu nyinyi wote kwa simu yangu mnataka complimentary tickets, nitakula wapi? Who will buy my tickets? You want complimentary, and usually when people ask for complimentary tickets, it's not just for them. They ask for complimentary tickets for them, their friends, their family, their grandmother, like no. Like let us support the craft. But if you are my friend, you should be the first person to buy like 10 tickets. Nunua tickets, nishtue hata pia uniambie nimenunua tickets because I'm supporting you. Yeah, like that's what you should be doing. Buy those tickets and give them to your friends and let them come to my show. Like stop asking for complimentary tickets, even complimentary match bana, tafadhali nunueni, tutakulia wapi? You know, music is not free, but art is not free. And guys, thank you for tuning in for Radio 254. I want to appreciate the platform, bana. These guys are doing something amazing. It's 100% Kenyan music. If you're a fan of Kenyan music and you love Kenyan music, if you want to listen to weird, strange, good, bad, whatever, Kenya, as long as it's Kenyan music, if you want to listen to a whole plethora of Kenyan music, this is the place to tune in. Like, this is one of those platforms I feel like needs more support than ever. They kind of disappeared kidogo, akarudi na wamefanya ile kitu this year. They hit the ground running. Here we are. I am trying to get a spot on this radio spot. If you enjoyed your time with me, by all means, go to Instagram, like the post, and share as much as possible. I'll try to do the legwork on my end as much so as well I can get more viewers. And before I log out, my name is Shiembetsa, man. Let me leave you with the two amazing songs. The first song is Cash by Julian Drizzle, and of course, there's also Mau from Nowhere with Dogtail. Yeah, because we cannot be here without playing my favorite song. Sijui nianze na gani. Tutamaliza na Cash because wacha tuanze na Mau from Nowhere and then we shall go with Cash at the end. Ama namna gani? This is Mau from Nowhere, Dogtail.
I'm not fine, can't say my piece, I need time. Handbrake, release the gears, grind like I can't unmake the mold that's inside. Tangled thoughts are caught on each side. When I try to separate the code I live by from the roles I chose to help me survive. Help you and I keep peace of mind.
Hold me closer, tear me up again. Twisted paper, thank me later. Pull me under, you're my oxygen. Let me breathe, let me
Wait, you've got salt in your heart. Gravel in the socks won't stop if you stray from the path. Clay hands built for the craft. Made plans beautifully laid so our gods get a laugh. So hold me closer and take my breath. Hold my ankles down while I stretch. Keep me grounded right till my death. If you let me go, then I won't come down. No one I'll find it. So timing. Steady, I'm climbing. I don't mind it. Give it a moment, you'll find it. No gorgeous guidance. No one's are trying. No one's are trying. Oh no, find it. So timing. Steady, I'm climbing. I don't mind it. Give it a moment, you'll find it. No gorgeous guidance. No one's are trying. No one's are trying. Yeah. No one's are trying. No one's are trying. Where did you leave your heart? And why did you forget it in the first place? I took space and you took me apart. We were doomed from the start if we never learned to show face. Well, I showed my heart on each sleeve. Stayed up beside you, no sleep.
Hey yeah, it's my name is Shiembesa. This is Philosophy and Quack. I'll be leaving you. My time is up. So catch me tomorrow at the same time from 12 to 1 where we'll be talking about random things. I'll be having a guest here. We have guests lined up for the week. We have Manu is me. We have Maina Munene and we have Mwaluma, who's a good friend of mine. So let me leave you with thank you for tuning in. Thank you for having a good time. I hope you guys had fun as much as I did. And if you didn't, by all means, let me know in the wherever you'll find me. Miss Juta Patana happy. But anyway, it was fun having you guys. It was fun. It was a fun experience. I hope to see you tomorrow. Here's Mau from Roy Dogtail, and after that we'll play Julian Rizzo Cash. See ya when I see ya.
Trying. Oh no, find it. So timing. Steady, I'm climbing. I don't mind it. Give it a moment, you'll find it. No gorgeous guidance. No one's we're trying.